কাজ করে বই গেলে যেন না দেখা যায়। এরকম করে একটু করো, এই তো উপর দিকে দিয়ে দাও, একটু জাস্ট একটু যেন বইগুলো না। আচ্ছা, তোমার মেমরি কার্ড নেই? তো আমার পাশে ফ্যান করো। এটা অন আছে?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept our humble obeisances at your feet. Thank you so very much, Mataji, for giving us your precious time. It's been, devotees were so longing to have your divine association. Everybody here knows you, Mataji, but I just want to brief. I will not take much time. I want to just give a brief introduction of Mataji. Everybody knows Mataji in ISKCON. Mataji is a very senior devotee. From last 4 decades, Mataji has been serving in ISKCON. Mataji joined ISKCON in 1984, and in 1997, Mataji became the full-time devotee, and Mataji took initiation in 1998 by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj in USA, Atlanta. Mataji is a PG diploma holder in management of voluntary organization. Mataji has done her PhD in education from Andhra University. Currently, Mataji is a principal of Divine Touch School, and Mataji is engaged in so many activities, and she with her husband, like in involved. Mataji is involved in collection, festival coordination, congregation preaching, college preaching, and shoulder management responsibility. So many This is like just we are just telling 3, 4 things. And Mataji has, she has been changing the lives of so many devotees for so long. And Mataji initiated Bhakti Yoga residential summer camp at Vishakhapatnam, whereby school children stay as a devotee for 1 week in the temple. So this so the school which Mataji runs, she does so many activities for children there. And Mataji is a multilingual, and Mataji delivers courses in many languages. Mataji knows many languages like English, Hindi, Telugu, Gujarati, Bengali. Like so, Mataji, this is our great fortune and a blessing of Srila Prabhupada and His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj that today we will get a divine association of yours. Thank you so very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your very kind words. Too generous of you. She said so many things. Anyway, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the Assembly Vaishnavas. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to associate with all of you today. And let's start our discussion. So we'll start our discussion by praying to Guru Parampara. Without the blessings of Guru Parampara, without the blessings of Gurudev, we cannot understand this transcendental knowledge. In fact, I'm reminded of this very nice pastime that I had once heard, how there was this one Gurukul where the Guru was teaching to the students, and one day he decided to conduct an exam. So he asked the students to be prepared. But next day morning, when it was time to test them, some other guest had come. So the Guru had no time to test. So he told the disciples, we'll postpone the exam. The disciples were like, we are all ready and fired up, and please take the exam today. So the Guru instructed his disciples, do one thing. You go one by one and stand below this banyan tree, and whatever you have, kya karte hai, you have by hearted or memorized the verses. You start reciting those verses in front of the tree. And if you have made any mistakes, the leaves will fall down. And how many leaves have fall down, just collect and bring it to me, and I'll count and mark you. I mean, grade you according to that. The first disciple, he went, he closed his eyes, he started reciting all the verses in front of the banyan tree. And when he opened his eyes, to his horror, all the leaves had fallen down. And he was shocked because he had done his best and he hadn't even made even one mistake in the recitation. And he was wondering, why did this happen? So he went crying back to Gurudev and he said, Gurudev, I did my best, but all the leaves fell down. And then Gurudev asked him that, before you started your exam in front of this banyan tree, did you remember me? Did you pay obeisances to me in your mind with your words? He said, no, I forgot. So he said, that's why you got a 0 marks. All the leaves fell down. So without the blessings of Guru, you have started the exam. So he said, now this time go and recite my pranam mantra and then to recite your verses. So this time when he did it, not even one leaf fell down. So whenever we start something, that is why we remember Guru and Krishna, so that our hearts are clean, and with their blessings we can understand this transcendental knowledge. So we'll recite the Mangala Sharan, and then we will proceed with today's class. I don't have any accompaniment of any mridangam here and all. I'm in this room, but we can just close our eyes and join our hands and just recite the Vandeham prayers. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shrirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha Om Ajnanatimiram Dhasya Gnanam Janashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhayascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Shri Radha Damodar Bhagwan Ki Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai Lakshmi Nrsingadev Bhagwan Ki Jai Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Iskon Vartaman Guru Vrinda Ki Jai His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai Hare Krishna. So today we are taking up this very special book, Nectar of Instruction. It's an amazing, amazing book. And to start with, this has been written by his Rupa Goswami Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. And he's very special to us because Srila Prabhupada always said that we are all Rupanugas. We are all followers of Rupanugas. So our parampara comes from this Sada Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami. These 6 Goswamis, our parampara comes, but among these Goswamis also, Rupa Goswami is the leader. Though Sanatan Goswami was the elder brother, but Rupa Goswami is the one who has written so many books practically guiding devotees in devotional life. So among the many, many books that we can read for spiritual progress, there are 4 important books which a devotee has to start with. And among these 4 books is Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, Bhagavad Gita, and the Isopanishad. So the goal of spiritual life is to know about Krishna. So basically, what are we trying to do? We understand that we are temporary in this world. We have to go back home, back to Godhead. The goal is to go to Krishna. And what is the way to go to Krishna is by doing bhakti. So these things are explained in this 4 books very interestingly, and especially so in this book called Nectar of Instruction. Because Bhagavad Gita and Isopanishad, they establish this fact that goal of our life is Krishna. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, when we read Isopanishad, we understand how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the one sadhya. He is the one who is our goal. We have to get to him. We have to achieve him. This is our goal. We understand. And these 2 books, that is Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion, tell us how do we do it. So first is what are we supposed to do? And the second is how are we supposed to do? So in the Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion, the practical aspects, and all the more in Nectar of Instruction, practical aspects are given. What you can do to go back to Krishna. What is bhakti? In fact, if as a student of Nectar of Instruction, if somebody asks you, please tell us the summary of Nectar of Instruction in one line, then you can say it talks only about three things: what is favorable for bhakti, what is unfavorable for bhakti, and live in raja. That's all. If you remember these three things, then you have understood Nectar of Instruction. Actually, this Nectar of Instruction is a very small and simple book, but it is like the foundation of our whole spiritual existence. If we understand Nectar of Instruction, we have understood how to live a life of a devotee. This is like an instruction manual. When you buy a new gadget, you get an instruction manual how to go about it. So, how to go about spiritual life? Because, you know, Bhagavad Gita talks about, okay, manmana bhava mad bhakto. Krishna says that you remember me or satatam kirtayantu mam. But how should we do it? How should we do satatam kirtayantu mam? The mind is running here and there. How should we remember Krishna 24 hours? How should matchada mat pranagata? How should we discuss about Krishna? But when we read this Nectar of Instruction, it's a practical book, because here these Goswamis, not only they spoke about it, they were living that life. They were living by example. See, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he advented in this world, he hasn't left any books for us. He just gave us the Sikshashtakam. So we are not that intelligent that by just reading the Sikshashtakam we can understand. So these Goswamis, especially Rupa, Sanatana, Jiva Goswamis, they have written so many different books to make this um, understanding simple for us. And Rupa Goswami, by this Nectar of Instructions, make it so simple that what should we do? As a devotee, what are we supposed to think? What are we not supposed to think? What are we supposed to eat, not eat? How to behave? What to do? How to deal with others? What to think in our mind? How our mind should be? What our senses uh, should be like, or how we are supposed to control them? Where should we live? What is most important? How should we chant? How should we meditate? Everything is given in this only 11 verses, just the simple 11 verses, a very, very small book. So it's like a pillar, it's like a foundation. And every word that comes out from Rupa Goswami Prabhupada is like a nectar. Just like to purify our body, we take bath with water. To purify our soul, we need to take bath with these nectarian words of Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. So here in this nectar of instruction, very systematically he will take us from the minimum things which will feel like, oh, this is, oh, that's it, and from there he'll slowly take us to what should be our ultimate goal and what are we supposed to do. So here we will be doing it like this. We will read the preface which is given by Srila Prabhupada, and then slowly we will read, like, let's see, like if we can complete the verse 1 or 2 today, and then slowly we'll try to complete maybe one verse a session or maybe two verse a session. So maybe another 4 sessions or 5 sessions, we should be done with this. So here, in fact, this book was written in Vrindavan, in Ter Kadamba. If you have been to Vrindavan, there is this very beautiful place called Ter Kadamba, where Rupa Goswami wrote Nectar of Devotion and Nectar of Instruction. So this is also, I was hearing somewhere that this is also in reply to a question that Jiva Goswami had asked Rupa Goswami, or what should be the mood in Vrindavan and how to live. And these all books which are written by Rupa Goswami is the culmination, or rather, it is the compilation, I should say. It's a compilation of the teachings that Rupa Goswami received from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at many occasions. One is at Dasa Ashwamedha Ghat in Varanasi. For 10 days, Rupa Goswami received so many instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then also in Jagannath Puri on several occasions, whatever he had heard, he put it in a very simple and practical way for the devotees to understand. These Goswamis of Vrindavan were specially instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that they're supposed to excavate the places in Vrindavan, the lost places where all Krishna's pastimes took place. And they were instructed that they should build temple, establish deity service, and they were instructed that they should write books, spiritual literatures, so that in future the devotees can understand the spiritual science in an easy way. And they were also instructed to follow and apply and live that life and show it to the devotees how it can be actually applied in their day-to-day life. So here in this nectar of instruction, this 11 verses are like actually describing the different stages of bhakti. So in the bhakti, there are these 9 stages, right? Where is you start with shraddha, a little faith, and how you slowly, So this, if you want, you can write it down how these verses are from now. Total 11 verses from number 1 to 3 is about shraddha. From 4 to 6 is of sadhu sangha. From 7th verse explains about bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, and nishtha and ruchi. 8th verse is about asakti, and the 9th and the 11th verse explains about bhava and prema. So I'll just give you a little recap on what these 9 stages of bhakti are. So with an example, just like in our lives, let's say first time somebody told us, have you been to an ISKCON center? And we are like, no, I don't know. Oh, can you come? If you want, you can come with us on Sunday. And we may think about it positively and actually go. Looks like maybe it must be a good thing. My neighbor goes regularly. Let me go and check. With a positive attitude when you enter, that's called Shraddha, the stage of Shraddha where you don't know much, but you have a little faith. So that is the first primary stage of bhakti. Because without even that little Shraddha, if you don't have, then you cannot even start bhakti. So once you have that little faith, that positive curiosity, let me just see what do they do every Sunday, and then you actually end up going to the temple. And once you go there, what happens? You start associating with the devotees. So the second stage of bhakti starts, sadhu sangha. You sit with the devotees and you look at them, you hear classes, you take prasadam, you come back. So first is Shraddha, then is Sadhu Sangha, and then Bhajana Kriya starts. As you regularly go, some devotee will give you a mala. Do you like to chant? We chant it like this. This is the mala bag. You said, okay, fine, let me try. And you just take up a mala and you start doing Bhajana Kriya. That means action. Till now, it's just like you went, you associated, now action. You started taking a mala and you start chanting. Now what happens when you start associating with devotees, you start chanting, you start hearing, you start taking Krishna Prasad. Now, slowly, what happens? You give up all your bad habits. Stop non-veg, stop onion garlic, stop tea, coffee, stop all the old habits. So the anartha nivriti stage comes. Anartha is artha means that which is having value. Anartha means that which is having no value. So all our kama, krodha, lobha, and all these are anarthas. They don't add any value to our life. So now the anartha nivriti stage starts where you give up all your bad habits. Now what will happen when you give up all your bad habits and your heart becomes so clean? And when your heart becomes clean, then Nishta, your faith in the Lord becomes firm. So when you were starting in Shraddha, you had a little faith, but now that faith has become very strong. In the beginning stage, the faith was like a banana tree. A little bit storm or breeze comes, the tree gets uprooted. But in this stage of Nishtha, the banana tree becomes a banyan tree. Even if there is a big breeze of, it will not shake the tree. So from Shraddha to Sadhu Sangha to Bhajana Kriya to Anartha Nivriti, you come to the stage of Nishtha. And from there, you come to the next stage is Ruchi. You have now taste for Krishna consciousness. You enjoy chanting. You have that attraction. And then from there comes asakti. Now you're so attached, you can't miss a program. You miss the deity's darshan. You want to be there with the devotees. You have asakti. And then comes bhava, which is like a preliminary stage to prema, which is like just next door. Next door is prema. And then finally, they fully develop love of Godhead. So these are the 9 stages of bhakti. Everybody pass. For our own self, we can have a checklist and see where are we now? Are we still in anartha nivritti, or we are still associating with the sadhus and trying to make our faith firmer? So now this whole 11 verses are actually explaining the stages only. And the first 2 3 verses is about Shraddha only, and then about sadhu sangha, what is the importance. So if this 11 verses, if you have to by heart them, or let's say if you have to write a summary of this 11 verses, you can just memorize it in your mind like this. The first verse, it talks about controlling of your urges, right? So it's like you have to control your mind and senses. This is the first basic step. controlling the mind and senses. Let's say you're going to a school for studying something. What is the first basic step? You have to control your urge of, not running around in the classroom. You have to sit somewhere. Then only you can hear the teacher speaking and you can see the blackboard. You have to sit in the classroom. So, like that, the first basic step in bhakti is just controlling your mind and senses. So, that's the first verse. Then the second verse talks about it, that you have to stop these six unfavorable things. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do things. That's what the second verse says. Don't, don't. So now we may ask, okay, I stopped it. Now what I should do? So the third verse says, do, 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 do. Do these six things. So first it says control your mind and senses. Then it says you don't do this. The third verse says do this. Okay, I'm doing this. Now what? So fourth verse is okay. It's not only about do's and don'ts. Now you can have a little fun. What is that? Oh, you can have loving exchanges with the devotees, or you can, give them prasadam, take prasadam, give them gifts, take gifts from them. So, oh, this is very nice. Oh, we like it. So the fourth verse talks about loving exchanges with the devotees. Then the again fifth verse, we may have a question. Okay, but how do I deal with this devotee? How do I deal with that particular devotee? So the fifth verse explains. Okay, hold on, how you have to deal with different devotees, I will explain. Rupa Goswami says, okay, how you have to deal with a devotee who is equal to you, who is junior to you, who's senior to you. And then again he warns us, hey, hold on, don't make aparadh. Don't materially look at the devotee and make aparadh. So that he talks about in the sixth verse. So now the first verse is mind and senses. Second verse is do. Third verse is don't. Fourth verse is loving exchanges. Fifth verse is dealing with different kinds of devotees. Sixth verse is don't make an aparadh, by looking at the devotee with a material mindset. Okay, so far so good. Now what? Oh, everything is done. Now holy name. Chant the holy name. If you are in this proper consciousness, and if the weather or the environment is like this, now you can chant holy name. Otherwise, if there is no proper dealings, you cannot chant. So now Rupa Goswami talks about glories of the holy name in the seventh verse, how the holy name is so potent. Oh, wonderful. So if I want to chant the holy name, how should I focus my mind? So in the next verse, in the eighth verse, Rupa Goswami talks about, oh, you meditate on Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes. So all that is glorified. Oh, so this is very good. I have good relation with the devotees. I deal with them properly. I'll not make offenses. I'll control my mind and senses. And I will chant the holy name of the Lord and I'll meditate on the Lord. What else should I do? Now comes the last verses 9, 10, and 11. Live in Vrindavan. Oh, where in Vrindavan should I live? In Radhakund. Why should I live in Radhakund? Oh, because Radhakund is so special. Radharani is so special. And then the explanation is there about Radhakund, how Radhakund is so special. There ends the nectar of instruction, 11 verses. Very simple. So if one can understand these, that's the essence of the spiritual life, what we're supposed to do. Now we will read the purport and try to understand the mood of Srila Prabhupada, what he's saying. The Krishna conscious movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. First line itself is so beautiful. Here we see how humble Srila Prabhupada is. Actually, he does not say that the Krishna conscious movement is conducted under my supervision, because for all practical purposes, actually it is Srila Prabhupada who started the movement, who went to America at the old age, and he did the whole thing. But he says, no, this whole mission is under the supervision of Rupa Goswamis. We are all Rupa Anugas following Rupa Goswami. And then he says, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas or the Bengali Vaishnavas, they're followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And these and so Goswamis of Vrindavan, they are the direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why Narottam Das Thakur has said, Rupa Raghunatha Pade hoi beakuti, kabe hame bujai bose jugala priti. So here he says, when I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada is talking about a very important point, that why should we actually read these books of the Vaishnavacharyas? Why should we read them? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in this Kali Yuga just for us, to explain to us this science of Krishna consciousness. So, if we want to understand the science of Krishna consciousness, if we want to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combined form of Radha and Krishna, and the highest in bhakti is to understand the conjugal pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and we cannot understand until we get a help. And who is there to help us? This Goswami. So why they wrote this literature? So that we can understand these pastimes. So these books are been written by them to make our understanding simpler. So that is why it says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has appeared in order to bestow upon the human society the benediction of the science of Krishna. The most exalted of all activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes with the gopis. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is in the mood of Radharani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must seriously follow the footsteps of the six Goswamis. If you want to follow the footsteps of Chaitanya, if you want to understand what is his mood, we have to follow the footsteps of the Goswamis. And among the Goswamis, who is the leader? Comes in the next paragraph. Rupa Goswami is the leader of all Goswamis. Actually, Rupa Goswami, in his Siddha Deha, he is a Manjari, Rupa Manjari. So we all know that in Goloka Vrindavan, Radharani, she has very special Sakhis, and under the Sakhis, there are Manjaris. So we know about the Ashta Sakhis. Now, the Sakhis also have Ashta Manjaris. And the Ashta Manjaris are the six Goswamis. Six Goswamis plus Lokanath Goswami plus Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is the eight Manjaris. So Rupa Goswami is having a very, very special position. In Goloka Vrindavan also, Rupa Goswami has very special sevas that she renders, Rupa Manjari renders to the Sakhis and to Radharani. So there also, she is the leader of all the Manjaris. And here also, she is the leader of all the, he is the leader of all the Goswamis. So he says that to guide our activities, why he gave this nectar of instruction to guide us, to guide our activities. In all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Very important. That first spiritual duty in all spiritual affairs, first we have to control our mind and senses. Without controlling our mind and senses, there is no spiritual life. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gives very good example. He said, let's say a boatman, he is rowing a boat whole night. But if he has not removed the anchor, whole night he will stay in one place only. The boat will not go front. So if somebody thinks, I don't want to control my mind, I don't want to control my senses, I want to do whatever I want to do, but I'll do bhakti. Then it will not happen. You will not go further. To give you a modern example, if you are driving a car, there is an accelerator and there is a brake. If you keep your leg on brake and accelerator both, the car will not move forward. You will have to remove from brake and then press accelerator, then the car goes forward. So this is a basic thing. If somebody does not want to control one's mind, does not want to control one's senses, they cannot go further in Krishna consciousness. Then he talks about everyone within this material world is engrossed in the mode of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattva Guna, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami. Then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. We are reading this book because we want to progress in Krishna consciousness. And Rupa Goswami is giving guidance here that first of all, you have to come to the status of Sattva Guna. There are three gunas, Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. First of all, you have to come to mode of goodness. You have to come to Sattva Guna. How should we come to Sattva Guna? By following the instructions of Rupa Goswami. Whatever instructions are given in this book, now whatever will be revealed to us, what we should do, six things, what we should not do, what six kind of associations we should take. If we do that, then we will come to the level of Sattva Guna. And so here, basically, this book is written for us to get proper guidance. What we should do, how should we lead our spiritual life, how should we maintain our balance, how should we associate with other devotees, how we should not associate with certain people, how should see them, and ultimately the goal of this book is to make us pure devotees of Krishna. And then it will talk about how we can engage our senses in Krishna's service. That way we can control our mind and senses. We cannot stop them from working, but we can only dovetail them by engaging them in Krishna's service. And then Prabhupada says, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of the Krishna conscious movement should become a perfect Goswami. So here again he talks about that how one has to try and become a Goswami. Go means senses, Swami means one who has his senses under his control. One, unless one control his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in life, one must follow the instructions in Upadeshamrita given by Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami has given many other books such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava, but Upadeshamrita constitutes the first instruction for a neophyte devotee. One should follow these instructions very strictly. Then it will become easier to make one's life successful. This is also a very important point. The last line Prabhupada says, then it will become easier. That means without following the instructions of Rupa Goswami, if we try to go further in Krishna consciousness, it's going to be pretty tough. But if we follow Rupa Goswami's instruction, then this will become easy. So here we see, to summarize here, Prabhupada is talking about what should be the attitude of the follower, how he should treat his juniors, how he should treat his seniors, what his attitude towards life, what is his attitude towards other Vaishnavas, what is his attitude towards the holy dham, what is his attitude towards the holy name, what is his attitude towards the material world, what is his attitude towards desires. All that is very important. What is the attitude of a devotee? And then Prabhupada emphasizes on controlling the senses. It's very important. In fact, today we see if anybody is put into trouble is only because of lack of control of senses. We see in the animal lives also, the fish has the whole ocean, and Lord has created so many things inside the ocean. The fish can happily eat and survive, but still, because the fish is not able to control the sense of a tongue, the fish wants to eat that bait, that meaty bait, which a fisherman will throw. And the fish gets attracted, and the fish wants to take that meat which is hanging from the fisherman's rod, and the fish gets caught. If it is not being able to control its senses, it can be satisfied with whatever available in the ocean, but it gets caught. What about the elephant? The elephant gets attracted to the she elephant. And because of that, what the hunters do, they make a trap for the elephant. The elephant gets attracted by the skin of the she elephant, and he runs in the direction of the she elephant. And they make a big hole, they dig a hole, they cover it with bamboo and leaves, and the elephant falls into that pit. And then they catch him, and then they employ him in circus or some labor work. Similarly, we see in the case of moth, the small insects, they get so attracted by the fire. When they see the fire, they think, oh, it's a sunflower, and they want to take the nectar. So they jump into the fire and they get roasted and they die. So they're not able to control the sense of the eyes. The eyes wants to go there. The elephant is not able to control the sense of touch, wants to touch the female body. The fish is not able to control the sense of the tongue, wants to eat the meaty loaf. In similar case, we see about snakes. The snake charmers, they just play some tune and the snakes get attracted and they just go there and then they are caught. We see in the case of deer, sometimes the deer are attracted by musical instruments. They play something and the deer get attracted and the hunters catch them. Sometimes even their smell. Sometimes the deer, they are just searching for the kasturi which is there in the deer's stomach. The deer is searching everywhere and gets mad, just moves around. So like that we see even in the case of tortoise. I don't know how many of you have heard this. I know there was this Panchatantra story I had heard in my childhood, how there was this one tortoise and it had two friends, two cranes were his friends, and they used to very happily live together. And once it's happened that there was big famine and the pond was getting dried, there's no water. So the crane and the tortoise, they decided that, let us go to some other place. The tortoise said that I walk very slowly, so I won't be able to migrate from this pond to the other pond. But the crane said, don't worry, we'll think of some plan. Then the tortoise said, okay, I have a better plan, because you are cranes, you can fly. Do one thing, you in your beak you hold a stick, wooden stick, and in between, I will hold the wooden stick with my mouth, and both of you cranes, you fly and you take me to the other pond. So they made this arrangement. What a brilliant idea tortoise got, and they were very happy. The cranes started flying with a stick in their beaks, and the tortoise was holding the stick. And when they started flying, the other birds and all, they started glorifying the cranes. oh, what a wonderful idea, how intelligent they are. And then the tortoise got this urge to speak that it's not their idea, it's my idea. So the moment the tortoise opened the mouth, he lost the stick and he fell down. So, like that, there are so many stories in Panchatantra that how, if one is unable to control the one urge to speak, urge to eat, urge to touch, urge to smell, so like that. So ultimately it brings disaster. Even in, you see, in the jungle, that is how the hunters, they catch the monkeys also. Sometimes they just put a big some glass or some kind of a pot with chickpeas, and the monkeys put the hand inside. They can put the hand inside, but when they try to bring the chickpeas out, they cannot, because the now the hand is into fist, and that much place will not be there. It will be very deep and narrow. So now the monkey won't be able to bring the hand out. And even though the monkey is seeing that the hunter is approaching, he's so tempted by the chickpeas that he does not understand that if I leave the chickpeas, I can run. Keeps trying to take the chickpeas. He doesn't open his fist. And then as a result, the monkey gets caught by the hunter. So we have seen time and again that when if somebody does not control one's senses, then ultimately they suffer. So here Srila Prabhupada says that if one follows the instructions of Srila Rupa Goswami, then very successfully they can progress in this path of Krishna consciousness. So this is the purport. And now we go to the first verse of the 11 verses. वाचो वेगं मनसक्रोधवेगं जिह्वावेगं उदारपस्थवेगं एतान् वेगान् यो विसहते धीरा सर्वं अपि मां पृथिवीं सशिष्यात्. See, the moment you hear the translation, here it says, a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, the belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Immediately we'll get a thought, so is this book about how to become guru, or because we thought this book is about how to become a good disciple. So the first verse, why are they talking about how to become a good guru? So somebody wants to become guru, are they supposed to follow this book? Is this for a guru or for a seeker? Actually, it is for a seeker only, because Krishna consciousness starts by seeking a guru. Without guru, Krishna consciousness doesn't begin. So how do I select my guru? I want a guru and I want to start my Krishna conscious process. So how do I select my guru? This helps me. Oh, this should be the qualification of guru. So there are two ways to look at it. One is the seeker can understand what should be the qualification of guru, and accordingly one can select guru. And second thing, the seeker can understand that this is also the goal of my life. This is what I have to become one day. I have to control all these urges, right? So because see, sometimes like a student, what is the goal of the student? One day the student wants to become like teacher. Yes, I want to become like my teacher. So when I say here want to become like guru, doesn't mean in a negative sense, oh, I should become a guru one day, but this is how guru is. That means one day I have to become like this. So here the first thing talks about that what are the qualifications of a guru, or rather what should be the goal of your life is to control all these urges, urge to speak, urge to the mind's imaginations, urge to get angry. We get angry, urges of the tongue. The tongue gets attracted to eat, urges of the belly, urges of the genitals. So those who can control that can make disciples all over the world. So the most difficult one is tongue. To control tongue is very difficult. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says if one can control tongue, then all senses can be controlled. Controlling tongue is very difficult, because with tongue we eat so many things, and when we eat a lot of things, and then all the other senses are also agitated. See, that is why we do fasting. Why we do fasting? When we do fasting, what happens? There is no food to the other senses. Apne aap se they become, they'll become a little weak. then we can dovetail them. Otherwise, they start controlling us. If we feed them too much, then they become our controllers. That is why, austerity is like we voluntarily fast. Just like, in the circus, when they have to train these elephants and the lions and all, they don't feed them for few days. And they don't feed them, then they become so weak. After that, just for a little lump of flesh, they're ready to jump from the chair and do all kinds of exercises. So like that, the tongue, if the tongue can be controlled, if the urge to eat too much can be controlled, then all the other senses can be very easily controlled. So here, mm, very interesting purport is given. Srila Prabhupada is talking about how there are different kinds of intelligence. Now, before I go to that, I explain you this one word vegam because that is very important. Vega means speed. Vegam means urgent. That vegam is an urge actually. It's an urge which is very urgent. Vega or desire is different, and vega is different. Desire is something that you have a desire, but it's not that it has to be done right now. Do it later on. For example, I want to go and see Himalayas. It's a desire, but it's not urgent. I'll do it some other time. But vega means it is urgent. It comes in such a way that it's so difficult to control. In the Ayurveda, it says that certain vegas should be controlled and certain vegas should not be controlled. For example, the urgency, the vega of passing urine, passing stool, it never should not be controlled. Sometimes when we get busy with some work, we just control that urge. Oh, I'll just complete this and then I'll. So that's not good for our body. So the urge to pass urine, the urge to pass stool, sometimes mucus comes out that should be removed and thrown. The urge to sneeze, sometimes you have the urge to drink water, thirsty, then one should not avoid it. Urge for hunger, sometimes you are hungry. Oh, I'll just eat after 1 hour, I'm busy. No, when you are hungry, then a certain gastric, the certain juices are given out in the body comes, so that helps to digest the food at that moment if you eat. Otherwise, after that, if you delay, then it disturbs your digestive process. So certain urges not supposed to be controlled, and certain urges are supposed to be controlled. So the urges that are supposed to be controlled are these: the urge of speech, the urge of mind, the urge of anger, the urge of belly, the urge of genitals. And a sober person is supposed to control these urges. So here it says, how should we control these urges? In the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks that there are so many tapasyas one can do. Like, you give charity, you remain clean, you become truthful, but you maintain celibacy. Okay, that all things are there, so many austerities, but that is by doing yoga asanas, all that is there. But if you are fortunate enough, Prabhupada says, then if you get an association of a pure devotee, then all these things you don't have to do. You simply have to do only two things: refrain from meat eating, that means follow the four regulative principles, and do devotional service. That's all. If you do these two things, which are recommended by Rupa Goswami, then nothing to worry. Because otherwise, it's very difficult to control this. So he gives only two things: one is a prescription and one is a prohibition. The prescription is associate with devotees, engage in Lord's service under the direction of a guru. That's all. And prohibition is follow the four regulative principles of no illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, and gambling. If these two things are done, Rupa Goswami says, then they can go further in bhakti. So here is another explanation Srila Prabhupada is giving in purport, that the level of intelligence is four types. Sometimes just by hearing, we understand things. For example, a thief, if he has heard from somebody, oh, from scriptures, oh, don't steal, it's bad, and he stops stealing. That is one level of intelligence. Some people, that is not enough. Hearing is not enough. When they see, they stop. Oh, this person got arrested. I may also get arrested. Better I stop. Third person is after getting arrested, after getting imprisonment, oh, I should not do it anymore. So some people are very intelligent. Simply by hearing, they'll stop. Some people by seeing, they will stop. Some people by experiencing, they will stop. But there are some people, even after experiencing, also they will not stop. So why Prabhupada talks about it is when Parikshit Maharaj, he was hearing about different kind of hells in the fifth canto. So in the sixth canto, he asks, in the beginning, he asks Sukadev Goswami, so how these people will be, relieved? Then Sukadev Goswami says by atonement. Then Parikshit Maharaj argues that how can you say that atonement? There are many people, even after they are punished also, they may have the tendency to do that again. Then Sukadev Goswami says that then knowledge should be cultivated. So then Parikshit Maharaj, again gives a counter argument. And finally, Sukadev Goswami gives the nectar of instruction saying that only by cultivating bhakti, by doing devotional service, that's a real atonement. By understanding what is our real position, what's our relationship with Krishna, and cultivating that knowledge will help us. And that is the actual atonement. Atonement without sense control is useless. It's like he gives an example of elephant bathing. Just like an elephant, he may take bath, but again he'll go and roll in the mud. Then what is the use? Then Prabhupada also gives example in the purport about Christian confessions. In the church, they have this system. Every Sunday they will go and they will confess in front of the Father. I did this sin, I did this sin. But what is the use? Again, next Sunday, they will again continue and they'll do another sin and then again come and confess. So confession should be with the feeling that I don't want to repeat it again. But if they continue doing it, then what's the point of that confession? So what is a real atonement is when one gets this real knowledge and awakens one's dormant love for Krishna, then that is a real atonement. So here, then he talks about how this urge of speaking is also different kind of people have different kind of urges. Like nanis, they have an urge to speak about nirveshesha. They want to they want to talk about principles that oppose bhakti. They talk all that. The karmis, they also have this urge to speak. What they want to speak? Materialistic things which are unrelated to Krishna, and they want to talk prajalpa, like just like a frog. The frog keeps croaking, then what happened? The snake will go and attack the frog. If we speak too much, then Maya will come and attack us more. And also, writing of mundane books, that is also, unnecessary use of speech where you are writing something which is not glorifying Krishna. And sometimes people take vow of silence. They don't talk anything, but then they are thinking so many things in their mind. I remember in my childhood, I had gone to this camp, Vipassana camp. I think it was a 10 days camp, not talking anything. In fact, sometimes my maid servant, now she takes a vow, I think every Tuesday or something, she will not talk. But what is the use of that kind of woe? The fact that she's not talking, it makes us all the more headache for us because she will want to say so many things, but she'll keep on making signs with her hand and all, and everybody in the house will get disturbed that why did she even take this woe? So yeah, these are all this self-imposed vows of silence. So these are all useless. So what are the different urges of speech? Sometimes somebody wants to be silent. Sometimes somebody wants to talk something else, nothing to do with Krishna. Or sometimes somebody speaks something which is creating distress for others. These are the different examples of the urge to speak, and how should one control this urge to speak is by Krishna Katha. If somebody has a lot of attraction of speaking and cannot live without speaking, then they cannot stop speaking, but they can dovetail it. Instead of speaking unnecessary thing, they can speak about Krishna's forms, his qualities, his pastimes. And if somebody has a urge to write, they like to write, then they should write spiritual books, which is explaining about the pastimes of Krishna. And they can serve Krishna also by their words, by glorifying Krishna in a beautiful way, writing poems, so many such ways. So this urge of speech can be dovetailed, cannot be stopped or cannot be controlled. It can only be, you know, the direction can be changed by using that for Krishna's service. Then the urges of the mind. Sometimes we have so many desires in the mind, so many plans we'll be making in the mind. So this mind's agitation is also of two types. So first thing we spoke was vacho vegam, the vega of speech. Now comes manasa krodha vegam. These two vegam, manasa and krodha, the vegam of the mind and the vegam of the anger. Why these things happen? See, the vegam of the mind is unrestricted attachment to something, and the vegam of the anger is when you don't get thing, you get frustrated. So that is the anger in frustration. So what to do with that? The mind's agitation. See, sometimes we may think, anyway, in Kali Yuga, whatever you think in your mind, you don't get any karma for that. So, what is the problem? But if the mind is too much occupied with anti devotional or non devotional things, then there is no place for Krishna. And in that crowded traffic jam of mind, we cannot remember Krishna. And if we cannot remember Krishna, then we cannot purify. If we cannot get purified, then we cannot have attachment for holy name. If we cannot have attachment for holy name, we can go back home, back to Godhead. So it's all connected to mind. Just like, in Mayapur, if you go for, prasadam in Gada Bhavan, they have this very nice system. They give you all the prasadam in the plate. And after your prasadam is over, and when they see that your plate is clean, only then they will give you kheer, the sweet rice, because they know in the beginning if they give, the sweet rice will get mixed with all the other ingredients and you cannot relish it. But once your plate is over, then they finally come and give you either a mango chutney or a sweet rice. Similarly, our mind, if it is full of so many desires, so many things going in the mind, then we cannot relish Krishna consciousness. If the mind is having so many things, even if we are hearing Krishna Katha, nothing will go inside the mind. It will just go up from the top. The mind has to be clean, then there is place for Krishna. But what to do? As of now, the mind is full of material things. So, how should I clean my mind of material things and how should I put Krishna? So, cleaning of the mind is not an isolated process where I'll be able to clean it separately. It has to happen simultaneously. You'll keep on filling your mind with Krishna, and slowly, slowly, the other things will move away. Just like somebody had sent me one WhatsApp video. Oh, there was this pot, it had dirty water. So how should I make this pot of dirty water into clean water? So they were showing in the video they had another jug of clean water. Inside the dirty water they were putting the clean water. When I saw the video, I was thinking, now what will happen? This clean water will also become dirty. It was becoming dirty. But after one time, two time, 10 times of pouring, there was no more dirty water. Everything became clean. So like that, our mind is having so many urges, so many desires, so many things are happening. Only thing that we have to keep doing is keep pouring Krishna consciousness, keep pouring nice water, and slowly it will go away. Even in your, for Matajis can relate to this, when you are working in the kitchen, sometimes when you make something fry or some sabji, there are so many marks on the frying pot. And if you try to scrub it, it will not go. No matter how much you try, though they may show in the advertisement Vim or Prill but actually nothing works. But you know what works the best? If you just soak that pot in water, keep it for 1 hour. After 1 hour, when you try to remove it, all the marks will be gone because it has been soaked in water for a long time. Like that, if we simply try to clean our mind, it will not clean. What is the ingredient? How to clean it? But soak it. If you soak it in Krishna consciousness, then automatically all that dirt will go away. The only thing we can do is fill up the mind. Fill up the mind with Krishna's thoughts, Krishna's kada. You have to fill up. You have to fill up the mind. That is the only solution. So here, avirodha priti, that means attachment. unrestricted attachment, and virodha yukta krodha, anger and frustration. So these karmis, because they believe in fruitive activities, they're making so many plans in the mind. I'll do this, then I'll do that, then I'll get that. Even the materialistic people, they make so many plans based on their material desires. But the only way to control mind is by thinking of Krishna and his service. Because there is one, this in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna is, wherever there is Krishna, there, Maya has no adhikar. Krishna Surya Saman, Maya Andhakar. Jaha Krishna taha Maya nahi adhikar. As soon as Krishna will enter, automatically Maya has to go. There is no choice. Just like if this room is dark, the moment I put the light on, darkness has to go. It cannot say, no, I want to stay. It cannot stay. Automatically it will go. The moment we start hearing about Krishna, automatically the materialistic desires, unnecessary attachment, unrestricted senses, everything will become under control. So we have to meditate on Krishna's pastime. So here what we are basically talking is, there is this urge of speech. These are the problems we are facing. How to control it? By speaking about Krishna. Here there is an urge of mind. We are thinking about so many things, making material plans and desire. What is the solution? Think about Krishna. How to think about Krishna? By hearing about Krishna, by meditating on Krishna's forms and pastime. That is the only way. And by doing that, what will happen? The mind will become controlled. The urges of the eyes, ears, senses, everything will become pacified. The other problem is anger. Why is the anger caused? By frustration. Frustration of what? You wanted something, you didn't get it. Frustration of material desires. So now what happens in anger? We start using harsh words, so many things we do. How to control this anger? Can we use anger in Krishna's service? Yes. How can we use it? Prabhupada gives example how Nityananda Prabhu, he got so upset with Jagai and Madhai. So though Nityananda Prabhu, um, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually so kind, he does not, in this avatara, he does not want to hurt anybody. But when this Jagai and Madhai, they beat Nityananda, or they hurt Nityananda Prabhu, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gets very angry. He exhibits his anger. So can we use anger in Krishna consciousness? Yes. How we can use it? By exhibiting it for those who are misbehaving with devotees. That way we can dovetail our anger. And those who are blaspheming the Lord or his devotees, we can use our angers towards them. Because anger cannot be stopped. See, all these things are energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. Energy only can be converted. We can only convert the energy. We can't destroy energy. But at the same time, only if that blaspheming is for some other devotee. If somebody is blaspheming us, then we should tolerate. We should tolerate all kinds of personal insults. But when some other devotee is getting blasphemed, then we should not. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry with Jagai Madai, like Hanuman. Prabhupada gives example of Hanuman. Like when Hanuman got angry and with Ravana, and then he burned the whole Lanka. And like Arjuna, he fought the war of Kurukshetra, on behalf of Krishna, or rather to serve Krishna with anger. So this way the anger can be dovetailed in Krishna's service. Similarly, the urges of the body, there are the demand of the tongue, there is a demand of this belly, there is a demand of this genitals, and physically they are situated in one line. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, one who runs here and there to gratify one's tongue, belly, and genitals cannot attain Krishna. Such a strong statement, he said. If somebody is running here and there, wants to satisfy tongue, belly, and genital, they cannot attain Krishna. So what to do? What is that? Sarira avidya jal, jadendriya tahe kal, jive fele vishaya sagare, tara madhye jibhavati, lobhamay sudurmate. Oh, first of all, this body is like a big jal. In this, the most voracious and dangerous one is this tongue. So, what to do with this tongue? Oh, you just eat Krishna prasadam, and that way satisfy the urge of the tongue. So, when we eat the Krishna's prasadam, then that way we can control the urge of trunk. So we should eat only vegetables and grains and fruits and spinach and milk products. Even diet is also in three modes: sattva, rajas, and tamas. For those who are eating non-vegetarian, this is all tamasic. And then those who are eating heavy spices, that comes under rajasic. The devotees, they're supposed to take prasadam in sattva, that is in fresh food and fresh vegetables. So when we take only prasadam, and in fact, in prasadam also, one is not supposed to eat too much of prasadam. So sometimes we are told that akantha prasadam, prasadam should be eaten up to the neck. So yeah, that is like when we feed others, we feed with that mood. Oh, I want to serve you more. You take as much as prasadam possible. But when it comes to us, we should have a control on our. If we taking too much prasadam with the mode of enjoyment, then that is not helping. So we may argue that in scriptures, when it is told that you should take akantha, but yeah, but do you actually take it with that mood that this is prasadam and it is so purifying, and this is Krishna's prasadam, and every morsel that's going in my mouth, it's purifying my body, it's purifying my mind. Oh Krishna, you are so merciful. Oh, this prasadam, oh, I'm so fortunate. I don't know what good karma I did, how I got this prasadam. Are we even in that bhava? No, actually, we are thinking, can you just put a little bit more capsicum in this pizza and a little bit tomato sauce? I think we should have put a little bit of jalapeno. So we are in a different mood. So we cannot, I mean, like, actually, prasadam means it has to be taken with so much reverence. Like Madhavendra Puri, when that Kheer Chor Gopinath pastime happens, even the pot in which the sweet rice was stored, he broke the pot and that pot also he ate off. That, oh, this is Krishna's prasad. So we are not on that high level. Those who are actually on that high level, if they eat Akanta Prasadam also, nothing will happen to them because they are on that high ecstasy. But in Prasadam also, we have so much distinctions. No, this not like sometimes, in Mayapur after nowadays, of course, it's a different situation. But when our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Guru Maharaj was healthy, and so I remember after Vyasa Puja, Guru Maharaj takes prasadam, then the servants will bring out the plate, whatever is the remnants from his plate, and everybody will be rushing, I want, I want, I want. But I tell you, in that remnants also they want to select not Karela, I want that Rasagulla. So if you actually have that bhava that this is a Mahaprasadam from Guru Maharaj plate, then whether you get a Karela or you get a Rasmalai, you shouldn't be bothered much. But we are very particular about what we want. So we are not on that level. So yeah, we should not eat too much prasadam only just for the taste. Or sometimes we offer the food to the deity with the intention that actually today I'm in a mood to eat this, so let me offer this to my deity. So that's not the right bhava, that I want to eat this, so okay, let me offer it. That should not be our or sometimes accepting invitation at a rich person's house thinking, wow, today I'm going to get a feast, wow, this is going to be fun today. So these are all not right. These are all these urges which we need to control. Even though we are taking prasadam, we'll have to go step by step a little bit more further and improve our mindset. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Antya Leela 6.236, he says, Bhalo na khaibe, bhalo na puribe. If, that's the highest level. So, of course, these are all very lofty, but at least we should know that these are the goals. This is where, see, at least whenever we are driving somewhere, at least we should set it on the map, right? In the GPS map. I want to go to this market. So even if you don't reach the market, at least you know right, then left, then straight. But if you don't even set the goal, then you don't even know where to go. So these are all very lofty for us. Like, don't eat nice stuff. It is very difficult. But at least if we know this is the ultimate goal, and one day this is where I am, and this is where I have to go. So at least one day, if not the moon, at least we'll get the star. At least we'll get a little bit better in our consciousness. So yes, uh, um, eating more than necessary, even if it's prasadam, it causes stomach disease and it's not advisable. And observing, and how should we control that urge? Because first we said controlling the urge of the belly and the tongue is by dovetailing it. Instead of engaging it in eating passionate and tamasic food, we engage it in eating prasadam. Now again, we are going a step further and saying even in prasadam, we should not have a desire of eating too much prasadam or desire of enjoying prasadam. So the next thing is, okay, so then what to do? How to control that urge? That urge is there now to eat a good feast and all. So to control that urge, fast sometime. So like Prabhupada said, fasting, feasting. So yeah, so I mean, at least like if every day eating to opulent prasadam, at least sometime we can do fasting. Follow Chaturmas or follow Purushottam, follow Ekadashi, follow Vaishnavacharya's appearance, disappearance, tithis. So at least that way we are able to maintain some balance by accepting this voluntary austerity. So now we spoke about the urge of speech, how to control by Krishna Katha, then urge of mind, how to control by meditating on Krishna, then urge of tongue and belly by taking Krishna Prasadam, the urge of anger by dovetailing it towards those who blaspheme Krishna. Now we come to the urge of genitals, how that can be controlled. It says that mm, by begetting good children, by begetting Krishna conscious children, and engaging only for procreation, and to not engage in illicit sex, and to have relationships only within marriage in a pure way. So, and children should be trained in bhakti. And how this is for grahasthas, those who are grahasthas, how will they control their urge is by begetting Krishna conscious children and then training them in bhakti. What about the renunciates, those who are in brahmachari ashram, those who are in sannyasi ashram? How will they control their genitals? So here Prabhupada says, by not listening or talking about worldly subjects, and they should not think about women, and they should remember this pastime of Haridas, Chota Haridas, what happened, Lord Chaitanya and Chota Haridas. Remember it and be very careful on not engaging in unnecessary conversations with the opposite gender. So one should be so careful. Eh, And this instruction, of course, is not only for grahastha, sannyasis or brahmacharis, it's also for grahasthas. Just because somebody is a grahastha, one should not engage in unnecessary chatting with the opposite gender, except, in their own house. If whenever they're interacting with somebody else, it should be work related. And one should not be overconfident that nothing will happen to me. Actually, my heart is very pure. No, Maya can attack us anytime. I'm reminded of this pastime of Vyasadev and his father. When Vyasadev was writing it down that, even somebody is a sadhu, or no matter, even a very liberated stage also, one should be very careful and not associated with women. Then Parasar Muni says, like, it looks like you're a little bit too hard. This sentence looks a little too strong. So he said, okay, father, I will think about it. I'll contemplate on it, what to do. That day, night, when Parasar Muni was sleeping inside his hut, there was rain. It was raining like cats and dogs. And there was like a thunder and lightning. And somebody knocks on his door. And he sees a beautiful woman standing all drenched in rain. And Parasar Muni says, well, how can I help you? She says, please give me shelter. It's the middle of the night and I don't know where to go. So Parasar Muni says, okay, fine, you can come and sleep in my hut and I'll sleep outside. But keep the door from inside bolted and I will sleep outside. So she said, fine. But after some time, Parasar Muni keeps thinking about her, how beautiful she is, or how beautiful she was looking. So he starts knocking on the door and says, dear lady, please allow me inside. I want to come inside the hut. And she said, but you just told me that even if you knock, I shouldn't open the door. I'm supposed to bolt it from inside. Looks like there's some change in your mind. I'm not going to open the door. And he starts, banging more, all the more loudly. because dhyate vishya pungsha sangha sangopajayate was meditating on her, and now he was like, I want to enjoy with her, but she never opened the door. She never opened the door, and he was so agitated. So finally, he climbed on the top of the roof of the hut and made a hole and jumped inside. And the lady was shocked. And then he finally went and hugged the lady. The moment he hugged the lady changed into Vyasadev. And Vyasadev said, Father, thank you so much for your hug. I just wanted to make my point, you know. And then Parasar Muni was like, oh, it's you? Oh, yeah. I know this morning we had a discussion. So I just wanted to clarify this, you know, because you said I'm making a very strong statement, but anybody, the, the Cupid can make anybody stupid. So one should be so careful. The instruction is not only for sannyasis and brahmacharis, but even those who are in Grihastha ashram should not unnecessarily engage in mundane talks or any kind of unnecessary gossip or chatting with the opposite gender. Only that which is connected to Krishna seva. No, we should be talking only that. So we should be very careful. So, to sum it up, we just completed the first verse. So, if we, Prabhupada says, we have to try and become Goswamis and not Godas. Godas are those who are servant of the senses, and Goswamis are those who have their senses in control. That means they have engaged their senses in service of Krishna. And if we want to become a good servant of Krishna, we have to follow the footsteps of 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And following their footsteps means reading the instructions that they have given in their books, in their scriptures. And that way we can progress in our Krishna consciousness. And these 6 urges, they can present various type of obstacles in a sadhaka's life. But if one takes Sharnagati and uses these senses in Krishna's service and in association of sadhu under the guidance of Guru, then they can progress in Krishna consciousness. So today we spoke about the preface where Prabhupada talks about how the attitude of the follower is important. We spoke about how Rupa Goswami, how he is the leader of all the Goswamis, how Rupa Goswami in the Siddha Deha in Goloka is the leader of the Manjaris, how Rupa Goswami is the author of different books, how we are all Rupanugas following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, and how Rupa Goswami is a Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. He has taken instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he understands what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's vision and mission, and that is his mission to establish Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission in this material world. That is why he's so very special. And then we spoke about how this 11 verses take us from Shraddha to Prema, you know, in a slow and steady way, starting with how first one should control one's mind and senses, and then slowly how one should do 6 no no's and 6 yes yes, and then 6 loving relationships, and then how to deal with the devotees and the glories of the holy name and the glories of Radha Kund and Radharani and Vrindavan. So this is what we discussed today. Actually, these purports of Srila Prabhupada are very interesting because he has taken it from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary, which is the Anuvritti commentary on Upadeshamritam, and also Bhakti Vinod Thakur's commentary, which is a Piyusha Varshani Vritti, which is also a commentary on Upadeshamrita. And Srila Prabhupada has taken the essence of all those commentary and put it in a very simple language with lot of interesting examples that we can relate to in our day-to-day life. I haven't read it like word to word. I just gave you like a little bit here and there, a summary. But what you can do is like tonight, before we have our second session, you can read the preface one more time, and you can read the text one and try and by heart the text one, memorize the words, and also read the purport of text one, which is very, very interesting. So then that will make a base for us to go to the text two. So like that, this is how we will go. I mean, I'll give you a little summary, and then when you actually read the purport, then you may get some questions which you can ask, you know, because without reading the purport, even if you ask the questions today, it will be of no use because all the answers are there in the purport. But today, if you read that purport and come back, I think tomorrow or day after, I'll coordinate when I'll have the second session. I think day after tomorrow or tomorrow maybe. So I don't know. That I will coordinate, and then you can have if after reading the purport, if there is something that you could not understand, then you can ask questions. So with this, we can end it here today, and then the next session we'll start with text number 2. So thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you so much for your precious association. It's been a long cherished desire to be associate with you. Mataji, I have a question from today's class. Can I ask? This is very practical question and how to apply it. Mataji, just like you spoke that I have heard before also many times from the senior devotees that um, it's generally for me, with me, I don't know for others, that we offer only those things which our family likes, and we have to see that we have 4 members, and uh, like the whole thing is cooked on the basis that what the family will like, and we offer it to Krishna. And sometimes it also happens that whatever I like, I also cook that, so that it goes with others choices also. So this is not the pure devotion service, even not devotion service, but still this is the fact that we offer. And so how to purify it, how to change this mentality, because we have seen that we should not offer non-veg, onion garlic thing, or tamasic food. But in the in the sattvic and a passionate food, sometimes obviously we use ghee and all. So how to change this mentality, and how to come up on the that whatever Krishna likes, I will offer. How to change it, because it never happens. It always happens that whatever the family likes, we offer.
Okay. Okay, what I understand your question is that usually we offer what we like, and that's how the family makes choice. So how to rise about it? So what we can do is we can just try and change, make a little change in our mood. So instead of like, I like this, that's why I'm going to make it. We can, while offering it to Krishna, I say, Krishna, um, I don't know what you like, but I like this. I made it, and I'm sure I will. You also like it. I'm offering it with that bhava. So I like this jalebis a lot, and I'm offering you with love and affection. Krishna, please accept it, and please bless me. And I know this is my offering of love. So I like them, and I'm offering with love. So I want to share it with you, or rather, I want to offer it with you because I don't want to enjoy it without you. So can you please accept this so that I can accept them? So like that, you can just change your mood and your bhav, and you can present it to Krishna in that way, because I've we are not on that stage also where we can give up that bhava completely. In fact, I've seen in our temple also, na devotees tell that, Mataji, when we cook Rajbhoga for Radha Damodar, as soon as we enter into Rajbhog kitchen, our mood completely changes, because we are like, we are cooking for Radha Damodar. So mind and all, we become so alert. We have to say only name of Govinda. We wear the mask, we wear the gloves. We are so perfect. But when it comes to our house deities, we become a little bit relaxed, and our mind is like, what my son likes, what my elder one will eat today. Our mind goes off there. So so yeah, it's going to happen, but we can constantly be conscious and mindful of it. Like, instead of just completely like being ignorant of it, and like just cook something and offer like a matter of ritual, instead of doing that, it's okay. We are on a different stages in Krishna consciousness, but we can make changes in our presentation to the Lord. Sometimes the Lord sees our intention and forgives us. Sometimes Lord sees our presentation. Sometimes even if the presentation and intention both are wrong, He may just forgive us because He is very kind. So here our intention may be because I like biryani, but at least we can try and make a change in our presentation by saying that, Lord, I don't know what you like, but this is what I like, so I'm sharing it with you because you are my friend, or you are my well-wisher, or you are the Lord of my, love of my life, and I don't want to eat anything without sharing it with you. So can you please bless this? Can you please accept this? So like that. So even if we are making it for ourselves, at least that little bit change we can do in our bhava while cooking, that I'm sure Lord will like it, or I'll make it in a way that Lord likes it. Okay, you may be liking that biryani, but when you cook, you think, okay, Lord is going to like it. I'll make it with clean consciousness. I'll chant Lord's name while I'm cooking it without any other thing in the mind. So like that, slowly, slowly, abhyasa, we have to go on practicing remembering Krishna. It will not happen overnight, but at least if we are conscious of it. I remember when I was newly married, whenever I get hurt, or I sometimes cooking in the kitchen, if the knife chucks the finger or something, immediately mama, it used to come out because I was so used to like just remembering my mother. And my husband was like, how come, why Krishna's name is not coming? And I was a young girl. It was a little difficult, but I mindfully practiced it. That okay, no matter what happens, mother, it should not come mama, Krishna should come. And it happened over a period of time. So now, no matter what happens, immediately Govinda or Krishna's name will come out. So it's not that it automatically happened. I consciously worked on it that no matter what situation, only Krishna's name has to come out. So yeah, this will also happen. Like now, today you heard about it. So now you will start thinking about it. Now, tomorrow, when you or your mother or anybody goes to the kitchen, you will remember this class and you will be, even though you want to make biryani because your brother likes it or something, but you will think in your mind, but this is what I heard and that's how my consciousness should be. And if you consciously keep practicing it, one day it will become so natural that you will, as soon as you enter kitchen, the only thing comes in your mind is, yes, I'm cooking for Krishna. Also, sometimes physical environment also should be created in such a way. Like in your kitchen, there should be always Prabhupada's Hare Krishna mantra or some bhajan going on or some nice class going on. Everything should be so clean. Some slokas on the, my mother used to always write some verses with chalk piece on the tiles, on the kitchen, something on the door, picture of the Lord here and there. So the whole thing, as soon as you enter in the kitchen, it will be so beautiful. Even if you are thinking of making something for yourself, wherever you see your eyes, you are seeing Krishna's picture and you are hearing Krishna's name, and you are also singing the bhajan along while you are cooking, and you are doing it with utmost care and cleanliness because you're going to offer it to the Lord. So you are just making the mood for it. And one day it will be like inside out. It will be like purely for Krishna. That's what comes in my mind right now.
Jai, thank you so much. Is it fine? I have heard from some devotee that whenever you offer, then you just beg forgiveness, whatever you did your best, you beg forgiveness for anything that you could not observe while cooking or presenting. And I just beg forgiveness from my Guru Maharaj that if something wrong has happened, then kindly please forgive me for that. Because I know if I can beg forgiveness from my Guru Maharaj, then obviously Krishna will. But I cannot directly approach to Krishna for this.
Okay.
Mataji, I have another question if you have time.
Okay. What's the time? Yeah, you can go ahead and ask.
Mataji, okay. Thank you. Mataji, like you rightly said that we should serve the devotees very sumptuously. Like we should not akantha. And but for us, we should check that the Prabhupada has given us the formula half with the food, half with one-fourth with air and one-fourth with water. Mataji, I don't know whether this question is right or not, and consciously, I'm not thinking this for any other devotees. but we have been educated in devotional life like that. Whenever we serve senior devotees, we should serve with the utmost caution and with lots of varieties, so that we can please the Vaishnavas. And this is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are reading and hearing every day. So I don't know, but when it comes to because one who is senior to you, and obviously who is very senior to you, and you really want to please them by your serving, and you take all uh, care also that what that person likes, because if you don't know, then how will you serve, right? So in this process, I have just recently came across that why when we are serving the senior devotees, and they have also crossed through these stages, right? So we hear that the more a person becomes senior in terms of experience and realization, the more he or she becomes humble. That's right, and they are. But why like they should get roti, dum fulawa, these things should their caretakers, their assistant says, no, no, Mataji, do like this, do like that. So I
Not
don't know
here.
how to put up
I'm
this
sorry, I could
question.
not hear. What is that? Why they should get what?
Like
What
their
was the last?
assistants, the secretaries, they say like, Mataji, you please do this, don't do that, you don't overpour, or you just give fulawa chapati, he doesn't need this, that. So is it that we should take care of these fine details, or how to understand? Because when you understand that the person is very senior, then he has come up of all these details, but still we should take care of. So how to understand this?
Very interesting question. And this is something that's happening on regular basis. And I get this question so many times. I wouldn't want to mention the name, but just this happened last year. Somebody was asking me that some servant or some guru was served dosa, and he rejected the plate saying that the dosa is not hot and I need this and also. He was like, how come, he and she and the whole family was like, how come the more senior a person gets, they should be more compromising, or rather say more adjusting, and they should be okay with just about anything. How come they have so many what do you say, demands? Not like this, it should be like that. Not this, it should be like that. So well, I tell you one thing. Instead of like judging anybody's seniority or perceiving their level in Krishna consciousness by the way they perceive their food, or they respond to how we serve, um, let's not take it that literally, and give a benefit of doubt, because we are not sure why somebody's doing what, how, when. Because sometimes, like you said, a little example of hot chapati. Sometimes it may just be that if they take something cold, it becomes difficult for them to digest. So, as a secretary, maybe they just want to make sure that they get the best of it so that they remain healthy, fine, and they can preach or talk or, move around more and give their association to devotees more. That may be the intention, we don't know what's the intention behind. And see, sometimes some people have genuine health reasons, genuine health reasons. They take a particular kind of a thing in a particular way. It doesn't suit their body. So if they are the ones who are making that destruction, there may be some genuine reason. If the secretaries are doing it, it's just because they have so much love and affection that they just want things to be done perfectly. That is a way to please a Vaishnava, because they say that like the what you say, the symptom of love is paying attention to even the minute things. So even in minutest things, when you are paying attention, that means you love the person so much. That is one way to express your love. I remember, where did I go a couple of years ago? I was somewhere, I think somewhere in Middle East or somewhere, and we were staying at a devotee's house. And the moment we entered the room, the way the whole room was, the minutest, which you can never even imagine, they must have imagined it, that right from our entering the, and maybe using the doormat to the room, what all we can actually need. I don't know if they replayed it. Everything was at the right place. And I was like moved by, how can somebody have so much affection? The little to little thing was taken care in such a nice way. So sometimes this is one way the devotees want to express their love. So sometimes the secretaries, they want to express their love in way by taking care of the minutest things. And also, when we perceive a person now, we just think about this one particular time that he has taken prasadam in our house or with our family. But maybe that devotee must be traveling so many places, and imagine if everywhere he compromises that it's okay, that chapati doesn't have to be hot, it can be cold also. And imagine over a period of time what will happen. Because I tell you, like personal experience, like sometimes the devotees are so excited and they make like 30, 40 varieties. And you are like, if you don't eat, they'll feel bad because they made from morning. And imagine you actually start making everybody happy. And it's not just one trip, it is like you are 15 days somewhere in the West, and morning, afternoon, evening. And so ultimately, what happens? You start saying it's okay, they'll be happy, they'll be happy, they'll be happy. At the end of 15 days, the person will be sick completely, making others happy. So sometimes when they have this assistance, even if the devotee may have not told it that way, that I want the chapati like this, but they may have added it on their own because they know what is good for that person's or that devotee's health. So they will just make it up so that they get the right kind of food. So don't get so much into the details, aisa kyun, aisa kyun, aisa kyun. Just take it simply. When it comes to us, we should apply it to ourselves. That when it comes to us, I will try to be very matured and adjusting in whatever facilities are offered to me. But when we come to other devotees, I'll serve them as equal to God. That should be our bhava in Krishna consciousness, and not try to see fault in them, that why are they expecting so much what you say, accuracy, or why are they expecting aisa hi hona chahiye. We should not then this is like we are trying to see some fault, and then that will lead to Vaishnava aparadh. So we should just like keep it as that's the better we can serve them, it's better for their health, and so that they can be in good of their health and mind, so that they can continue to preach and inspire others. That should be our mood. See, it's not only about prasadam. In so many other ways also, we may get that complaint. Senior means more tolerant. Senior means they should be more humble. Senior means more simple. They should have more simpler lifestyle. They should have more simple, no less possessions. So like that, if you start not only with prasadam, from one it'll lead to another, it'll lead to another, and so many things will come up. And ultimately, what you'll end up doing is only seeing fault. So this has started with the prasadam, but it will lead you somewhere else. So stop it here only. And you completely close the matter in your mind, that my duty is to serve them to my utmost capacity in the bestest way possible, as if the representative of Lord has himself come from, and giving me this opportunity to serve. He or she is wearing a kanti and is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and I will serve them because they are chanting and following the process of Krishna consciousness, which is so rare in this world. Even 1% of the population is not a Krishna devotee. But here is somebody who is in the bona fide sampradaya. So I am follower of Rupa Goswami and the great Guru Parampara. So with that in my mind, since they are following that Guru Parampara, even if they may be perfect or not perfect, but they are following the perfect marga and they are followers of the perfect Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are following the perfect philosophy. Whether their following is perfect or imperfect, we don't know, but they are following that which is perfect. So like that, giving benefit of doubt, you withdraw yourself immediately from that kind of things in your mind, because one will lead to another and another will lead to another, and then you will start seeing so many such things. And also, when we see something from very close, that is why, in the Shastra it says, be far from Guru, be far from Raja, and be far from fire. Three things: Guru, from far off, you will feel everything wonderful. The more you go closer, you will have so many things. Why this facility? Why this thing? Why this? Fire from far, it's good, gives warmth. Go closer, it will burn you. Raja from far, very fine. Do namaskaram. Go closer, you become friend to him. Don't know. Rich people are very eccentric. They have all the power. Suddenly they may get angry and say, "Isko hang kar do. Hang this person. I'm upset with him." So we have to always be away from Raja, from fire, and from Guru, because it's like high power electricity. If you don't know how to use it, it'll burn you. So if we are having this kind of doubts with the senior devotees or Guru or Vaishnavas, then what we should do is we should step back and not offer personal service. Because first we have to become matured. Without becoming mature in Krishna consciousness, if we step into their personal zone and start serving them personally, and then all these questions will come out in our mind, and it will take away our bhakti, and it'll distract us. It'll take us into different direction. So better we till we get into that maturity. And sometimes some things are revealed with maturity of bhakti and also maturity of age. Sometimes when we come to that age, we can relate it more. No, I mean, like my personal experience, what I used to feel 15-20 years back कि ये ऐसा क्यों करता है और ये person ऐसा क्यों है, now I feel I can understand why that must have happened. Because as you age, you understand there are so many needs of the physical body, and there are so many other things that you really need to manage and balance along with your sadhana, along with dealing with people, and so many things that you are simultaneously doing. There is so many things that you may have to compromise or adjust with, and you cannot be that idealistic example. There'll be so many things that you may not be able to do perfectly because of physical inability or because of this situation. I don't know if I'm making sense to you, because I'm trying not to, say anything that's very controversial and avoiding any examples, but like generally trying to give you some principle. I don't know if you're able to understand what I'm saying.
No, Mataji, thank you so much for this correction. This has happened recently, and actually, I couldn't put up the question, but I have learned so many things from your answers that, yeah, we cannot understand what's really actually going there. And you are seeing from one of your perspectives, but there may be some more things. So these things are happening. And thank you so much for this correction. I will really note down everything. Thank you.
Okay, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.